Hello everyone. I know it takes a minute to get in here, so I will check back in the chat in just a second. Hey, Sasha.
Hello, Kasie.
So, welcome back to another installment of the Kasie Show, where top leaders spill the tea. In this week's episode of Where Top Leaders Spill the Tea, we will meet my guest, Sasha. In the last few months, many friends have lost loved ones. It really hits home for many of us and causes us to take a step back and think about the people in our lives who are truly important to us. For this reason, I think it is great to have the discussion we will have today with my guest, Sasha. So, I have been interviewing teachers that are leaving teaching and found other income sources. So teachers are becoming VAs, insurance agents, nannies. They're leaving the classrooms and becoming online teachers, independent teachers, tutors. So let me know in the chat box. Are you still teaching? Where are all my teacher friends at? Please say hi in the chat. And so Sasha and I have a few things in common. We both have spent time in the online teaching space, and this is how I know her. And to be honest, I have never personally met Sasha, but I've seen her around in some of the groups, and she worked closely with a good friend of mine. Like many online teachers who specialize in the ESL industry in China, Sasha was affected by the double reduction policy. So she took the opportunity this provided her to pivot into a new career and hasn't looked back. So Sasha, it's nice to meet you in person, like you said earlier, right?
Yes. Thank you so much for having me, Kasie. I'm really excited to be here today.
Yeah, I'm excited you're here as well. We have a chat box going. So if we have any questions, if it's all right with you, I will ask you them as well.
Absolutely.
Good. Trying to make it so you are side by side with my notes. So Sasha, what initially drew you to teaching English online?
Well, my background was actually in corporate America with
Mhm.
Gateway Computers and then later on with Citibank.
Okay.
And I just wasn't feeling it. I don't really vibe well with corporate America and that, a lot of things that went with that. And so I started pursuing my doctorate in teaching in higher education. And I became an adjunct professor teaching economics, finance, business law, project management at a couple of different colleges in South Dakota. And I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had my youngest three children. And I'm like, oh boy, oh boy. I kind of, I've been working my whole life. I kind of just want to try the stay-at-home mom thing,
Right.
And so I started looking at some options and I ended up, I ended up with VIP Kid originally. And at the end of my online teaching career, I was actually with Zebra English, still teaching a little bit, 10 or 15 students, but primarily working as a mentor with our mutual friend, Sherry Gibson, doing the hiring and workshops and developing training material and whatnot. So for me, it was just the flexibility and the freedom to be there with my family.
Nice. My story is kind of opposite. I started teaching after my kids were born and they were going to school, and I didn't realize how much I loved it until then. So what skills do you feel teaching online gave you that could be easily transferred to other industries?
I think that anybody watching this video, depending on, no matter what they want to do in life, the greatest skill that I learned really surprised me. And that was that I had to become comfortable with what made me uncomfortable. I don't like being on camera and I
Right?
don't like being the center of attention. Well, how many online ESL teachers taught within birthday parties watching the class? Or I taught at Disneyland, airports, everybody's watching. And learning to process that emotion, that being uncomfortable, is really advantageous because when you're looking at a new business venture or even just a new position with a company, there's a lot of uncomfortable things you're going to experience. And being able to embrace that and not run from it is definitely an advantage.
I used to throw up before every video, every YouTube, every live. I used to literally get sick, but I would just come on here and do it.
I still do, Kasie. I'll be honest, I haven't
Oh,
eaten today. I'm
Oh
like, I
no.
can't eat until it's over. So big lunch
Oh
for
no. All right.
Sasha.
Well, let's get this on the road here. So tell us what you are doing now rather than teaching.
I took a month off when
Okay.
China shut us down, and I grieved. Like I really
Oh.
grieved that loss.
Hmm.
And I started exploring my options, but I was not just going to jump into anything. And I'm glad I took that time. So I ended up starting my own insurance agency. So I am a licensed insurance agent. Hopefully by the end of the year, I'll be licensed in the lower 48 states, all of them. That's my goal anyway.
Wow.
And so I'm just using that as my starting point, but I'm also moving on into other ventures. I've partnered with somebody that has a lot of experience with acquisitions, and we are really working closely together to help me create multiple income streams.
Excellent. So I saw a post on here in this group last week that had a lot of engagement about the insurance industry and the emergence of several companies in financial planning. And many people mentioned like MLMs and made online and brick and mortar financial planning companies out to be like scam artists. So what can you share with our audience about your company that may allay their doubts? Tough question.
Well,
I know. I just saw so
I
much of
kind of
it.
want to get a Twix moment here, but no,
Right.
it's not necessary because, you know, the truth is, everybody watching, they should doubt. They should absolutely doubt, and they're not wrong. I did a lot of research because I'm a person of integrity, and I'm not going to
Mhm.
align myself with a company that doesn't match who I am as a person. There are a lot of companies out there that are going to pay you 30% commission. They're going to make you sign a contract so you're bound to them as a captive agent. You're not a business owner. You're going to have to write down everybody you know. You're selling to family and friends. You're knocking on doors, and you have to recruit, and
Mm,
then give it all to your upline and start over again. Don't go down that path. It just, it's bad. It's just not good.
right.
I was blessed enough to know somebody and to be pointed in the right direction. And then I did my research and I aligned myself with a company that I believe matches who I am as a person. So there's no contract. I am my own business owner. I'm not bound to anybody. I earn
Right.
100% commission. I'm not, giving 50% of what I make to some upline. And I'm fully vested from day one. So I own my book of business.
Hmm.
If I die, my husband will inherit it.
Oh, wow.
I own it. So I'm actually going to be paid extra commission every year on policies I've already written. That's just how the insurance industry works. And so you have to just look at it from a corporate structure.
Hmm.
I've met the president of the company. I've met several of the board members that have really helped me come up with a strategic plan for achieving my own personal financial goals. And they are the realest people I've ever met when compared to everyone else in corporate America.
Right.
Just hearts of gold. And so anybody watching, definitely be aware. Be
Yeah.
aware of the differences. And if you have any questions, of course, you can always reach out to me. There's a lot of information out there, but there's also a lot of false information. You've really got to look into the details of the company and how it's structured. So the company I aligned myself with is structured just like corporate America.
Hmm.
You've got Sean Mike as the president. Then you've got you've got your VPs, your upper level management. We've got admins all over the place helping us with everything,
Right.
helping us with contracting and everything with the carriers, but no different than corporate America. What you really want to look out for are the things that I mentioned
Yeah.
initially when I answered.
I really like that answer, and you didn't take the easy way out. And you just research, right? You need to look
Yeah,
into things, research. Love it.
absolutely.
Good. So, what makes you enjoy logging onto your computer every day as a part of your company?
Oh my goodness. There's one that makes me smile and one that makes me cry, but they're both good. The first one is just the energy and the excitement. You
Hmm.
see, you're doing a job that's really very easy for the most part. People go onto your website, say, "Hey, I want life insurance, please call me." And then I do. There's no selling that. They already understand that they need life insurance. So it's
Right.
just a matter of helping to find the right policy to meet their needs and put them in the best situation. But the overall energy level of everybody associated with this company is just, I mean, talk about a high vibration.
Oh,
The
nice.
only thing that compares to that is teaching online. And all of you teachers know what I'm talking about. If you did not have high energy, it was just a struggle. And so I
That's
really
so
love
funny.
that high energy, but also it's a little bit bigger than that because I've seen the tragedies where the husband dies
Yeah.
and now the stay-at-home mom with the kids just lost the husband and
Oh,
father. Now they're losing the house, having to switch schools, sleeping on air mattresses in the basement of friends and family. And it takes years for
yeah.
them to recover and they never get the chance to grieve. And so when I pick up that phone, I'm preventing that. I
Right.
can't prevent somebody from dying,
Right.
but I can prevent the horrible, horrible financial destruction that can occur if they haven't prepared for it. And that just feels good.
Yeah.
It feels really good.
Guess I never really thought about it like that. But that's a very good point. Very good. So, what does a typical day look like for you?
Depends on the day, right? Well, I'm working on adjusting my day as I get closer to achieving some of my financial goals. I find that I want more time. So my
Hmm.
alarm, as of right now, goes off at 6 in the morning. That's going to be changing to 5 in the morning because I want that quiet time in the morning. So right now, the alarm goes off at 6 and I go straight to the coffee pot, not going to
Yeah.
lie. And I have my quiet time,
Yeah.
you know?
I have not been setting an alarm now. I'm kind of loving it.
I did that for a month when
Yeah.
teaching ended, but now I just find like there's this desire in my heart to have more of that early morning time. So
Hmm.
I'm going to run with it. I've
Yeah.
learned not to question these things. And so my morning routine is probably the most important part of the day because that's when I'm reflecting. I begin with some gratitude and I really want to just kind of revel in that feeling so that I carry it with me throughout the day.
Yeah. I
And
need to
then
make a
like
morning routine.
yeah, morning routines are great, but I'm a routine kind of person.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I
I
have a
make lists of
routine.
lists I want to make.
I have a routine. It just doesn't include any time for like me time. I don't know why, but I get up, I make my coffee, I feed my puppy, and I unload the dishes. I don't know why.
Right. So
I
you're starting your day off by accomplishing a task.
I
And that's
think that
that's a
is
great thing.
I guess that makes sense for my personality. I love
Yeah.
to check stuff off a list. I love it.
Yes.
So I guess you're right.
I I actually share a note from my iPhone with one of my colleagues so that we can be encouraging one another. And it's a completed tasks list.
Oh, okay.
And, it is very motivating, very motivating. But I find that starting your day off with meditation, prayer, Bible study, whatever your viewers choose to do and however they view the world,
Hmm.
just really can impact your overall mindset. And no matter what line of work you're in, no matter what you're doing, the most important thing you can do is have a positive mindset. It's
Oh,
not only going to affect you and your day, it's going to affect everybody that you encounter throughout the day. And so for me, that's the biggest part of my day. Then in the morning, you pick up the phone, call the people that have asked you to call them. Then in the afternoon, after lunch, if you weren't able to get through to everybody, call them again. And then if you still weren't able to get through to everybody, maybe they were at work, call them
yeah,
again in the evening. Now, throughout all of that, I'm also doing planning, administrative stuff, social media, presence type stuff, planning
yeah,
interviews and podcasts. I'm calling agents that need my help. Maybe they're with a client, they're calling me, and I'm saying, okay, they have COPD, so you're going to want to look at this carrier. There's a million things that you do throughout the day, but that's the basic structure. Oh, and I may actually homeschool my kids and maybe make dinner throughout all of that. It just depends on the day. No, I actually have automated my homeschooling routine now. So other than when I had to help them figure out how to multiply very long decimals, I
Mhm.
really can just focus on work now. And it's been great.
Wow. We might have to chat about that sometime soon too. I have lots of viewers that are homeschooling parents that look for tips and tricks. I don't have a whole bunch for them. That kind of wasn't a thing when my kids were younger. They're in their 20s. I'm going to be a grandma soon. So I know. Couple
I
more
have
months.
one grandson. He's going to be 1 in about a month.
Oh, so
It's the
exciting.
best. Congratulations, Kasie.
Thanks. So I
But I
do
think for
have.
homeschooling parents, it does work really well. There's so much freedom. I used to set appointments and go to people's homes. And
Mhm.
now I just work from home, doing it all over the phone or Zoom if they're
Yeah.
comfortable with that. Most of the younger people are comfortable with Zoom, but
Yeah.
yeah, you just work it around your schedule. Absolutely.
Nice. So what training do people need to complete in order to do something like you're doing?
It's going to depend on if they call me or if they go with another company. To be honest,
True.
if they go the route that I did, then what we do is we walk you through it step by step with first signing up to take your exam to get
Okay.
your license with your state. Most of the people I've worked with do that within a week to 10 days. Once you've done that, we pay for your pre-enrollment course. So that saves you about $300.
Oh,
It's
wow.
the pre-licensing course required by every state.
Mhm.
And so you just go through the material, take the exam. I passed it on the first try, and
Nice.
I think I gave myself a week to study, but everyone's different.
Mhm.
From then, you just apply for your state license. They'll do a background check, and you'll get fingerprinted and go through that process. And then I will help you to get contracted with the carriers. We've got our 4 biggest carriers now, as of March 31st, can get you completely contracted within 24 hours and you're ready to start making money.
Wow.
Then you can add another 20 carriers. We'll help you do that. But initially the goal is usually to make money as
Yeah.
fast as possible. So we've got
Started.
that process mastered now, and you can start making money very quickly.
Excellent. And last question, how can people get in touch with you to learn more?
Wow. Well, I'm on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. I even set up a Tumblr, but don't go there. I still haven't figured it out yet.
I
But
don't know.
honestly, the best way to reach me, just shoot me a message on WhatsApp or just a general text. It's
Yeah.
423-367-5457. And we can set up a time to chat, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Sasha. It was nice to
Well,
meet
thank
you
you,
finally.
Kasie. You too. You too. I know I'm jealous that you get to work so closely with Sherry Gibson.
I know she's an
Love her.
amazing, amazing person. I love
I
chatting
may
with
be
her.
trying to steal her from you just to give you a heads up. I need an admin. So
Awesome. So thank you everyone so much for coming. If you're watching the replay, hashtag replay. So I know who's been here. I see a couple of you are here. Thank you both for coming. And we'll see you next week. We have another live for you all about going from teaching and kind of what's next. So that'll be same time, same place. All right, everyone. See you next time. Bye. Bye, Sasha.